Last podcast on the left is all about the facts. So when Southern New Hampshire University came on as a sponsor, it was time to do some research. Turns out they offer more than 200 online degree programs, and get this, criminal justice and psychology are some of the most popular. Classes have no set meeting times, and tuition rates are some of the lowest in the U.S. Want to learn even more about SNHU? Visit snhu.edu/last. Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have trusted Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. Just tell Progressive what you want to pay, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Visit Progressive.com to find a car insurance rate that works for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hey there, Ben Kissel here for Last Podcast Network. I want to tell you about my show Abe Lincoln's Top Hat. For more than 9 years, Marcus and I have strived to present you with the most accurate and honest political podcast out there. In these turbulent times, it's our intention to unite the country with impassioned debate that reaches out to the rational Americans who find their voices more muffled every day. Every week, I use my political science background, my experience running for office, along with my lifelong passion to stand up for the downtrodden, the wrongfully accused, and the invisible man and woman to bring you news like you haven't heard before. Let's face it, traditional news has failed us. We promise to always tell you the truth the best we see it, and I personally guarantee to not be swayed by hyperpartisanship, but be guided by facts. To listen, search Abe Lincoln's Top Hat on any podcast platform or go to lastpodcastnetwork.com and find it under shows. Hail yourselves, everyone!
There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left.
From your glade.
That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
Man, oh man. In Florida, the people just keep getting more lizardy.
What do you mean?
We're in a part of Florida right now that is like specifically very lizardy, like in terms of the people.
They're leathery.
Leathery.
Yeah.
Crackly skin.
Yeah, cowboys, cowgirls.
It's mostly the feet I'm concerned about.
Really?
I know I bring up feet a lot. People have told me that quite a bit, that I say the word feet quite a bit. But there's something about the sun-blasted toenails of a street man out here, or the regular sort of red-faced Florida man who's got the Guy Fieri the tan lines.
Well, Guy Fieri, of course, he has those tan lines in the back of his head because that's where he wears his sunglasses. This is Side Stories, everyone. I am Ben Kissel. That's Henry Zabrowski. He's in beautiful, sunny Florida.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, where I belong. I always remember that when I come here. I'm like, I belong here. This is where I'm meant to be, especially in the humidity.
Of course. And of course, Travis Morningstar, our producer, is also here with us.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do it. All right.
Okay.
So
okay.
We got a bunch.
Okay.
We got a bunch of fun stories to get to today. I got to say, number one, I'm not getting paid for this, but my gal and I, you know what we did, Henry?
What?
We got Shudder. And Shudder is the single greatest thing during the Halloween season. The horror films have been fantastic. I watched this one. Have you seen Tourist Trap before?
We were talking about this. You actually told me, you sent me a text, solid 2:00 in the morning text. But
of course.
Honestly, it's a good one, but it was the Tourist Trap must see.
Must see.
I was like, okay. And I was
Classic.
like, I was okay. Because then I watch it because it's been so long. Because in our household, we don't watch a lot of slashers just because there's been so many of them. Like we are we are a ghost home. In terms of horror films, what we really enjoy, we are a found footage fan group, which is also something that's unique to us because a lot of people give found footage a lot of grief.
When you do procreate and have your own little pierogi, what are you going to kick him out of the house if you find Friday the 13th in his closet? If he starts watching slasher films, you'd be like, "This is a ghost house. Get out of here." I'm assuming you're going to name him Jack after Jackie or something like that.
No, if we have a son, his name will be Jefferson or Henry Thomas Zabrowski III, to live up to the power of his father. It's always important to start a child at a deficit.
Right.
I've always said this, And I think that because then they can work themselves up, pull themselves up by the bootstraps in order to make something special of themselves. No, they are allowed to watch whatever they want, I guess. It is a free world. There's no such thing as ownership. The Dispossessors showed me this, that in a proper world. And what you should do, technically, when I find him with a slasher film, is like, I'll explain to him. He's just going to have to put up with my lecture series.
Really?
Like, the slasher film, while it is important, is mostly about the psychosexual tension of the 70s and the idea of punishing children for exploring their sexuality. And the more and more you hit that again and again, the more he'll be curdled by it. And then being like, but wouldn't you rather be spooked by some ghosts?
I don't know about all that. Well, either way, it's going to be an interesting parenting style that you have, and I can't wait for your parenting book, the one that is officially banned by all people who actually care for children.
It's called 6 Feet Under. Start your child at the bottom of a ditch and get them up to the top of a tower. And I mean, but what he does is like it shows them first just their eyeballs above a ditch, and then it shows them above with a golden rifle in a watchtower.
Well, we don't want to go back to Texas here. That's all right. I also watched Beyond the Black Rainbow, which is directed by the dude who directed Mandy. It's his first film, and that is a lot. There's a little going on, but it's also a lot going on.
It's a lot of imagery, and I would put it's style over substance. It's a little difficult to follow. The acting is great, though.
Yeah,
it's a very interesting film. You know what I would say is that if you like Beyond the Black Rainbow, or if you like the cut of Beyond the Black Rainbow's jib, a good film, a good person to really dive into is Jodorowsky. Have you ever seen Holy Mountain, Kissel?
Oh yeah, of course.
With jaguar tits shooting milk.
The difference was Holy Mountain. It was action-packed. I'm going to say it was a straight-up Nicolas Cage drive-angry action adventure compared to Beyond the Black Rainbow. And I'm not even dismissing the man. He's a great director. But it did give me a little bit of the I'm watching a college thesis movie. Like, It was like he learned all of this stuff. He's very talented, but he didn't have to, like, do it. Like,
do it all.
Yeah, I got it. I get it, You know
what you should watch, too? El Topo. El Topo's got a lot of action.
Okay.
A lot of action. It's a good, solid Western. But see, Jodorowsky, again, what you're saying, I think you said it's a very astute observation, Kissel.
Thank you.
Is that it's true, is that Jodorowsky, is you're watching a surrealist master one thing about a surrealist film is it has to have the big gongongis.
Uh-oh.
It's got to have have hefty balls. It has to have substance.
Right.
It has to be telling a story. And that's the one thing Behold the Black Rainbow doesn't necessarily have, but it's fun to be just fucking whacked out.
All right, so it has to have gagongis. Good to know, indeed. All right, let's do our first story here, Henry. So we talked about this. Now, this actually, I don't know, the Lord giveth this week. There's been some funny stories.
We are blessed this week. Hashtag blessed, because I don't even know if necessarily this is even for us, but the story is incredible.
All right, so Henry has a lot of quotes in this story coming up, but what happened was Shaggy 2 Dope, of course from the Insane Clown Posse, he attempted an assault on Fred Durst, of course from Limp Bizkit. Well, Fred Durst was on stage. If you get a chance, it's on ROXXXTV.com. They have a little video of it there, and it's probably on YouTube and everywhere else, but it is one of the funniest attempted assaults in history. So basically, Shaggy 2 Dope was at a Limp Bizkit performance in New Jersey, which I think is the only state that allows Limp Bizkit to still perform. And what he was doing there on stage...
He's a director now. We forget that Fred Durst is directing films now. He is passing Limp Bizkit.
And I am not even going to sit here and malign Limp Bizkit. Everyone, they did this thing where it's like, oh, they became uncool and they're laughing at. I rocked out to Limp Bizkit. I'm going to say, full disclosure, I like that Break Stuff song because I wanted to break stuff. I was 16 years old. And, who doesn't want to break stuff? So I'm not going to malign Limp Bizkit. They served a purpose. And I liked, who I did like? Wes. Remember Wes, the bassist or guitarist?
Yes, with the black eyes.
Yes, the women loved him.
They did love him because he's another one of those. All of those guys. Him, was it from Marilyn Manson? Twiggy?
Twiggy.
Twiggy Ramirez?
Yes, I believe it was Twiggy, taken from the Manson family, of course.
Absolutely. What I'm saying is that, there's a lot of girls out there that are, for some reason, very intrigued by a man that could probably suck his own dick. It's also that lanky man syndrome where, he's got a big penis because he's got long arms.
It's interesting. Growing up as large people as Henry and I were, all the women, they liked the Kurt Cobain, They like the Kurt Cobain.
They
and
like sick men.
They like sick men. Jesse Camp from MTV, and I was like, I'll never even speak to a lady. Of course, I spoke to a lot of ladies, had a lot of girlfriends, friends that were girls. Clarify.
Whoa, this is great.
Anyway, nonetheless.
I remember there was an old MTV interview with Wes from Limp Bizkit, and he's in his full white face paint.
He had to be.
And his eyes had the black contacts.
Yeah.
And the interviewer goes, "Why did you make your face up like this?" And then Wes looks into the camera and says, "My parents took away my Legos."
Whoa!
And I remember that being like so fucking cool to me that like
oh, dope. Yeah, he's like, oh shit, dude.
because his look was I'm in beyond the black rainbow.
Right, he was.
Yes,
of course.
Yes, which you don't want to be.
It's not good.
No, definitely not. Kind of having a Jeff Hardy like face paint with the eye contacts. Now Jeff Hardy, WWE, pulling that look off pretty well. All right. So anyway,
So yeah, I set the scene, right?
Set up the
Fred Durst
scene.
is
So-
in mid-screen. He said
Mid-screen.
that he had just finished singing his George Michael cover "Faith."
yes. Okay.
Oh, wait.
So now you know. Now you know this crowd is going crazy. Some people
Crazy.
crying. The shirts are up like they used to be in the 90s. Everyone's screaming. So now no one really knows why Shaggy 2 Dope was at the concert, let alone on the stage.
So he approaches. It just comes from the video, right? Is that Fred Durst is just finishing to scream. All of a sudden, Shaggy 2 Dope emerges from the shadows,
Right.
And he does what I could only consider not a drop kick.
It's a
more
drop-
of a flop. It's a flop kick.
Okay, I'll give you a flop kick. It is an attempted drop kick from Shaggy 2 Dope, which is a flop kick. I don't know what kind of drugs he was on or how
Stop
hammered
your
he was.
car. If you're driving your car
You have
right
to
now,
stop.
pull over your car and look up the video, because instead of the full 90-degree drop kick angle that he should have been at, he hit probably a solid 33-degree angle until he was clotheslined by a security.
Right, so basically, he runs on stage, and then this security guard that looks like Chris Farley from Wayne's World runs after him. I believe it's in midair when the security guard more just kind of pushes him down. It's sort of, he kind of rejects him, like Mutombo would reject a basketball. Or no. And Fred Durst, I don't even know if Fred Durst realized it happened.
Well, what he said here is that he saw it happen. Fred Durst's comment to the crowd, which is, "What a pussy. He couldn't even pull it off." And the security that intervened, and they started mashing him into the stage, and the singer then said, "Calm down. It's just one guy." Right? So they go, which is true. He tried to be easy on him. So does this beef come from nowhere? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. Well, we'll see is that since then, Limp Bizkit's DJ Lethal has many things to say in a string of virulent Instagram comments.
Okay.
He said that up until now, he was a quote-unquote fan until now, before telling Shaggy, quote-unquote, "Bro, step up. Man to man. No sucker stage Russian, quote unquote, I'm going to get on TMZ." He also called him a quote unquote bitch made G, a quote unquote whack bro who quote unquote just got whack, and quote unquote a bitch ass clout chaser. And he repeatedly asked Shaggy, "Where you at?" Now, apparently, this is a 20-year-old beef. That the lore of this, yes, is that ICP. They were saying like they were coming at him, which is this magazine website called Consequence of Sound. All right, so they performed at Woodstock, and they were like back in the day, the bad Woodstock. And Fred was like apparently sent a message.
So Woodstock 99, this is where all of this started.
Yes,
really.
Fred sent a message, I think via carrier pigeon, to the band and said, "Hey, Fred wants to hook up with ICP. He wants to hang out with y'all."
Okay.
They met up with they didn't know who Fred Durst was.
Whoa.
Apparently, right? So they showed up. And so, according to them, I guess Fred Durst was a mega superstar and egoed out on them hard. Like, wouldn't look at them or anything while he talked. He invited them on the Family Values tour with Cord and all those bands. Then, at the last minute, he told them to fuck off and booted them off the stage.
Honestly, the Family Values tour would have been overtaken by ICP. ICP can't be around other bands. The Juggalos alone, they're like what's the name of that video game where your army just goes and attacks everybody and they eat up everyone? Anyway, I forget the name of it. Civilization or something like that. And that's what the Juggalos would do. They would take over any area that ICP is performing. I don't think you can have them at a festival.
I would only.
They have their own.
They have their own festival
They
for
have
a
their
reason.
own world.
Yes.
Because they do it on purpose. But I would say is that I would encourage our fans to do the same. Anywhere you're at for any other type of show, let them know that you're there for Just Blast Podcasts and start starting to break stuff.
Okay, that's great.
Is that inciting violence?
By the way, if you remember this, ICP had beef with Eminem as well.
Right.
Eminem hated ICP. Eminem hated Fred Durst.
Yes.
And then they all hated each other.
Well, of course, ICP also from the great state of Michigan, specifically Detroit, where Eminem is from, so they didn't like each other for a long time. You know what? We don't talk about the white rap feuds enough. And that's what needs to be talked about a little bit more because, you know,
They're a little bit sadder.
They're a little
bit cuter.
They're a
little bit dumber, but they're still there.
They're there. They don't like each other. I mean, honestly, those Instagram comments were very mean. Very mean.
Firesome.
Instagram. Firesome.
They're filled with fire, filled with vinegar. That's what I was saying. It's filled with vinegar. You know what it is that they are ICP. Say what you will about them.
I like them.
A lot of energy.
Sure.
That's the main thing I'll say about ICP is that they have a lot of energy.
Yes.
And I think that they are trying to sort of situate themselves with other people because you notice the people that they feud with, even Limp Bizkit, I'm going to say, are better performers than they are.
Ooh, that is you're gonna get your skull broke for that one.
Do you mean to tell me that the great Malenko will be called upon me like a new form of Pumpkinhead to enact his revenge?
It's very dangerous. You know, I think the one thing ICP has is their performance energy. Of course, yes, some of their music, maybe not the best, but I love their whole story being signed by Disney, and then everyone who signed them at Disney got fired because they never heard the music before, and they just thought they were fun rapping clowns, and then when they heard the music, they're like,
they had evil makeup on.
Yeah. Anyway.
They were called the Insane Clown Posse.
It's kind of
A posse is a group of people that band together to murder other people.
I guess so, yeah. Or go find some gold, or maybe go rescue a young person that's been kidnapped, a young child, perhaps.
I stand with ICP because I lost my virginity to a juggalette.
See,
we don't go into that conversation. We don't have to go into that.
This is the kind of stuff that matters. And you know what? Reminds me back to which is a thing coming up between Natalie and I, and it's the sage words of Blink 182. I guess this is growing up. It's like, that's all it is, man. It's growing up and understanding and owning our stories. So that's not normally a story that we would cover here, but it's just too fucking good.
It's too good.
Shaggy 2 Dope will end up committing a crime that will end up on this show anyway. I imagine.
Well, honestly, what would the crime be? What would the crime be? I mean, Huffin or something like that. I think they're pretty not violent people, judging by the attempted assault, because it was one of the most adorable attempted assaults in the history of attempted assaults.
It is not. Yes, it was not. He is not a dangerous man. If you say his drop kick is a telltale sign of how dangerous you are, he is not a dangerous person. You know what? Are you in with me and Marcus though?
What? Me
and Marcus kind of have a pool. What we like to do is we talk about kind of like who's going to be the secret seeding of a true crime story later on, like what's going to be a super tragic story or something fucked up's going to happen with this person. And our number one guy that we think is going to do something fucked up is Michael Phelps. We both think that Michael Phelps will end up being a part of a very sensational true crime story in the next like 10, 15 years.
What the hell would that be? Michael Phelps, the American hero? See, this is what the underlying conversation is about. Anti-patriotism. It's about anti-Americanism. You just see someone wearing the gold who has given our country so many W's that we've
literally never been a good country. We've literally
oh my goodness. All right, Mr. Cuomo. Good Lord Almighty.
No, you know what it is with Michael Phelps is that because of that, it's the people like seeing the true arc of somebody like grow and
but he already had his peak. His peak controversy was smoking the bong.
But that's what I'm saying. This is back in the day. We all thought it was this harmless thing. But because he was an American hero, and it's like he is ripe for a fall. You look at Tiger Woods, right? Tiger Woods is such a perfect example of it. They're ripe for a fall. And the problem is that somewhere along the line, we either consciously or subconsciously will allow these arcs to happen to us or complete it ourselves. I do believe that somebody like Michael Phelps has been put into a place where he's so bored. Once he's in his 40s, what's he going to be doing?
Swimming! The
No,
thing
he's not
about
swimming anymore.
the thing about the sport of swimming is you just do it your entire life because
No,
you're in
you're
water.
bored
You
by it.
No, he loves to swim. He's like a little fish.
He
He's a
hates
shark.
to swim.
He's like a shark. If he stops swimming, he stops breathing. He needs it. And also, when it comes to Tiger Woods, he had an affair. It wasn't a true crime story. We wouldn't have covered that.
I will put it this way, though. If he could have, he would have killed his wife.
I don't think you can even spread those kinds of lies.
I can say whatever I want.
Tiger is on a comeback, by the way, and I'm rooting
He
for
is.
that.
But I'm saying, but it took a long time.
It did take a
because
long
he couldn't
time.
squirt anymore.
No, it
When
wasn't
he couldn't
because-
get the squirt out.
What?
The squirt was in between him and his golfing.
It was not. What? No. It's because.
Yes.
It is because his image was so squeaky clean.
Yes.
Which is always a mistake. Never make your image squeaky clean because no one
Never.
is squeaky clean. We're all human beings. And that's why he had such a big fall because they're like, I can't believe it. And it's like, he's just a person. He made a couple mistakes, but it was,
Absolutely.
you know.
There is something to be said about starting your image wholesome and then going dark, and then starting dark and going wholesome, because Korn just released their own line of coffee.
See, this is the kind of
No, I
shit
understand.
that's
That's why-
about positioning yourself. You
No,
have
I
to
know.
when you are entering a life of the public eye. You understand you're going to be embodying a persona. You're going to be embodying a thing. And so with Tiger Woods, he made himself super squeaky clean.
Well,
he
Nike
was
did.
begging for the fucking balloon to be popped. I think
could
what
be
you're saying
free.
is actually correct, Kissel. And the idea is that we are all people. We are naturally flawed. And yes, sometimes I'm going to be deflecting a dropkick from Shaggy 2 Dope.
Sure.
But also sometimes I'm going to be showing you just how delicious this carefully selected batch of Ethiopian roasted beans are from the delicate hands of Fred Durst. And, you know, like that's,
Well-
you're allowed to do that because we all now know that Fred Durst is a complicated rainbow of a person.
I know that. And of course, the coffee industry is a little bit corrupt as well. A lot of mirrors happen within
There's a lot of murder.
the battle of the
because
beans.
people are very caffeinated.
They are. But another good example of that, oh, he's so nasty and gross. Howard Stern, who is now on, what is it, America's Got Talent?
Yeah,
being
exactly.
like, that is just wholesome enough for
Or
middle America
again,
to think it's
the
great.
opposite, Jimmy Savile going like starting extremely light and then
Let's not
swinging
even talk about that, man.
pendulous-
Molesting the children wasn't a career move. It was his hobby.
It was his
And
whole
a part-
life. And let's not, all right, I got a story here. Good gracious. This
I
is,
just saying it's important to remember to be careful who you pretend to be. All right, because we are who we pretend to be.
I just want to show one day in the future where I just want to, I don't even know what, but I want it to be 100%. I don't even know. You can't be too wholesome. Food
You just
related.
want
I
to
just
show
want
where
food.
it's you sipping Bud Light with a Pomeranian on your knee and telling and reading the weather. And I think that's
Honestly,
actually a
that
story
would be
you should
interesting.
position yourself
Right.
so that is the thing. So now you know what you have to do tomorrow is rent a car and you need to leave it in the middle of the Washington Bridge. Like you need to have one of those epic style meltdowns and then you flip it with the healing path of Benjamin Kissel and it's you with like, you know, hair dyed blonde. You're in you're in a
Yes.
spa.
I would love that. And of course, the weather's very interesting. We're going to be underwater in 2050. All right. Drunk birds. This is a story. Drunk birds. That's true. Perhaps.
This is what you want to cover.
Yes.
It's just
This is what, honestly, this is what I want to cover. All right. So this is a story. It comes out of our wonderful state of Minnesota. Hello. Go. I can't say it. Go Pack, go. I was going to say go Vikings, but I can't even do it.
I like
Although
how
the
your
Packers are-
pandering can't go that far.
No, can't do it. So this story, the headline is drunk birds are causing havoc in a Minnesota town, but please say they'll sober up soon. It's a police in Gilbert, Minnesota are warning residents about a youthful group of residents unable to handle their alcohol. They're not teenagers. Nope. They're a local bird population. This is according to Police Chief Ty Techer or Ty Tetcher. He says the Gilbert Police Department has received several reports of birds that appear to be under the influence, flying into windows, cars, and acting confused. In early frost meant that the berries, so why is this happening? In early frost meant that the berries had fermented earlier than usual, he explained,
Hell yeah.
and the birds were eating them and getting drunk. So basically, they're getting slammed off a Pruno. They're just getting hammered.
It's sangria.
Right. So
Well, it's a great story.
It is a great
My question
story.
is that what else do the birds do besides just flopping around?
That's the good question, Henry. Incidents around town involving intoxicated birds appear to be more prevalent than in past years, which I didn't realize they were prevalent at all.
I
guess it's a thing.
Fucking clue.
I guess the birds in Gilbert, Minnesota, they've always been very dangerous, apparently, because many have not migrated south. So because it's warm in Minnesota, and I was just there a couple of weeks ago, it wasn't that warm, but I guess it's warmer than usual. They're just
warm
hanging
for them.
out. It's warm for them. So it's like 35 degrees. So they're just chilling out there, being like, oh, what are we already in Florida? It's like, no, you're not in Florida. You got to get out of Minnesota. So this is according, again, to what's happening. This is according to Tecker. It appears that some birds are getting a little bit more tipsy than normal, which, again, I did not realize they got drunk at all. He wrote, generally, younger birds' livers can't handle the toxins as efficiently as more mature birds. He concluded there is no need to call law enforcement about these birds, as they should sober up within a short period of time. Can you imagine?
Are they really calling the cops on the birds?
I guess so, which is like, why are you calling the police? What is that 911 call? What are you?
There is a sparrow outside making what I can only assume are inebriated bird noises. Is it gonna rape my father? My father's an old man. I saw a video today that was a bunch of people on a boat, and then a big whale came near the boat and scared them to the point where the woman on board called the police to say that the whale was too close to the boat.
You know what? Oh my God. People need to stop calling the police basically for anything, unless you walk into your home and you find your mother dead. And then you say, okay, I got to call the police here so they can come and figure out what the heck happened. Other than that, never call the police. I don't understand this obsession of calling 911. What are they going to do?
I try to never call 911 unless I'm lonely. Well, but when you're just out there with this, what's the cop going to do to the whale? Is he going to jump on the whale?
Shoot it.
He's going to shoot it.
He's just going to shoot it. And then the cop will be like, another job well done. I mean, what the hell do you want him to do?
Yeah, you know what's nice about shooting the whale? It ain't man. So I don't go to jail no more.
He'll go to jail if he does it to a man, too. So according to some residents on Facebook, they say, this is according to one little Facebook comment, he says, this explains why I have hit 7 birds with my car this week.
What are you doing?
I don't know. 7 birds in a week.
Jesus
I would honestly just feel like, am I the devil? Am I being hunted? Am I in Suspiria? Like, what's going on here? Is this a Hitchcock film?
Day you're on your way to work, you're like, oh, and then you have to scrape sparrows off your grill, like all their spattered guts all over the fucking your lights and shit, all hard and stuff. You're like, having to explain to your daughter what death is in terms of groups of birds being massacred by your car.
So this Facebook thread really went on for quite a while. One person wrote, I was going to say something, but I thought I was crazy. This has been happening to me. Seriously, 2 birds dove into my windshield, both on the way to work and on the way home. I was wondering what was going on. That is, honestly, it is truly horrifying. You're just driving your car, you got birds attacking your windshield. 4 in one day and 7 in 1 week. That's a hell of a lot of birds to be hitting your car.
You know what? Upon reframing it, it is true, because you know what it does sound like. It sounds like The Birds.
Yes.
Or it sounds like the movie The Crazies or some shit.
Yes.
It sounds like everybody is in a very like everything's going insane, which has got to be very, very scary for everyone.
The police statement ended with a suggestion that the residents of the small northern Minnesota town call. So they are requesting they call if they see, quote, angry birds laughing and giggling uncontrollably.
Okay. So now
and
they're
appearing to be happy.
Everybody.
I think so, yeah. Or Tweety acting as if 10 feet tall and getting into confrontations with cats. So yes, I think the cops, and this is a pet peeve of mine, when cops put on their comedy cap and they start using humor, because again, they are an extension. They're basically militarized at this point, and they can just shoot your entire family.
They really just
not very funny.
With no punishment at all.
No, that's why I feel like if you see a comedian on stage with like an AR-15, it's going to hurt the jokes. It's just going to hurt the jokes. I don't
like funny cops.
No.
I don't like funny dentists.
No.
And I don't like, it's just a fucking...
I'm going to say
What?
I could go with the funny dentist. Dr. Giggles gave the dentist a bad rap when it comes to their humor. But sometimes you're sitting there and a dentist can really hit you with a funny one. And
they're never
kind of fun.
They're literally never funny.
If a dentist wants to be like interesting, they should like ride a longboard to work. They shouldn't make jokes.
Cool dentist.
No, I don't want to. Yeah, if you're renting a scooter to go be a dentist, that one of these disposable scooters, you should not be working on human bodies. You should not be a fucking doctor.
Honestly, what I want in my police officers, the personality I want is the main protagonist in Westworld, the robot cowboy. But I want him before he changes. I want a yes, ma'am, yes, sir. I want a collegial, nice cop who is always just out there looking for the good of the people, looking out for the good of the people.
We have a lot of cops who listen to the show. It's not that I don't think cops can be funny. It's hard when it's not on a person-to-person basis. It's when the top brass is making posts that are jokes.
Right.
When it's being like, what happens if your fucking daughter gets killed by a drunk bird? What are you going to do then, cops?
Yeah, what are you going to do then? Okay, but of course, yeah, you want to go to a cop bar, get hammered with some cops, you'll hear some funny stories.
Well, have you guys seen The Staircase on Netflix?
No, I haven't watched that one
Okay,
yet.
well, bird related. Anyway.
Is it really?
I can't say too much because people will get pissed off.
There is a bird section.
Okay, the one thing with Netflix in The Staircase, I'm looking at it, what is it, 12 episodes? I just feel like I'm staring down at like a marathon, and I don't know why Netflix is just like, let's make it 55 hours long. Like, nothing has to be that long. Get to it.
A very shocking reveal.
Okay,
is what I'm
all
saying.
Yes, that's what elongates it. It's a very shocking reveal, but it's a lot of fucking content.
Right.
It does get to a point where you're just like, what am I watching? And the whole episodes are just court footage. And between doing West Memphis 3, it was between West Memphis 3 and doing Casey Anthony, watching all that court footage makes me want to pluck my fucking eyeballs out.
Right.
I don't know how lawyers do it. I don't know how lawyers do it. I don't know how jurors do it. It's like, I don't know what it's too much. It's very droning.
The jurors do it because if they mess up, they go to jail for contempt of court.
Wait till you even try to get me on a jury. I'm going to have some controversial views. So what we have here,
all right,
is this next story, I think, is very, we're back to what we normally cover. 90-year-old San Jose man denies killing his stepdaughter, but police say her Fitbit tells another story.
This is a really interesting story. Again, 90-year-old. You don't really hear, is this the oldest person that we've ever discussed when it comes to a random murder? I guess not so random. It is his stepdaughter. But my God, that's crazy.
Yep. So apparently on, it would seem to be, what is the date? He visited his stepdaughter. He's 90 years old. He visited his 67-year-old stepdaughter on September 8th when he made a roughly 15-minute visit around 3 p.m.
Okay.
And he said that he was dropping off fresh-made biscuit and pizza, which is nice. So he made some nice biscuit, which is actually really difficult to make. That's double bake.
It is really difficult to make and super good. But what I'm going to say to this, Henry, too good to be true. Too good to be true. You're telling me this guy is such a saint. He's like, I am such a good man. I got pizza, which is incredible. And then biscuit, fresh biscotti.
I'll tell you what, it does mean a type of person if you go all the way to make fresh made biscuit and then you stab your stepdaughter to death. Oof. Because when police arrived, sometime in that 15-minute window, they found her body. She had been stabbed in the neck and stabbed all over her head multiple times and had the knife still in. She had a knife placed in her hand, and pizza was everywhere.
What?
Which is also, I'm afraid, the way you will be found, Kissel.
Honestly, yeah, it'll be similar to the autopsy photos of Chris Farley, but instead of a huge heroin bubble coming out of my mouth, it will just be a little piece of pepperoni.
Mozzarella.
Oh yes, that'd be good.
I did think that you were going to say he stabbed her with the stiff biscotti.
It's a fresh biscotti. It's fresh.
It's too stiff. You want it to have give. You want it to have a little bit of give, but it's also nice. Ooh, when you dip it in a nice coffee, you get a nice little cappuccino. You just like slip it in there, and you get a little soft, and you snap it off there. Nice almond biscuit. I love it so much.
This is what I want to do, Kathy Corner. I just want to talk about. Oh yeah, yes. Anyway, but what happened was
it wasn't this woman getting stabbed to death.
It wasn't exactly right away. The cops, they didn't find her body for a couple of days. Her neighbors are like, "Where is she?" And so the cops go in there, and they're like, "What the heck happened?" happened here? Something went horribly wrong, obviously. They check out her Fitbit, and this is what's so fascinating about these devices we're all wearing. They monitor everything that's going on inside of our bodies.
See, and the way they're positioning the story is they're like, thanks to Fitbit, that this man was caught using surveillance cameras to locate his car to drive. When they tracked him, he arrived at the Navarres Parkway at 3:12 and left at 3:33 p.m. They saw it all on cameras. As that, then according to her Fitbit, the heart rate rapidly increased at 3:20 and then completely abated at 3:28.
Can we just at least say what maybe the original reason for the spike was a bite of fresh biscuit?
When you see that pizza, and that fresh made pizza, open up, my heart goes a pitter-patter. And what if she just dropped out of a heart attack, and he's just like, I can't let anybody know that my fresh biscuit is killing everybody. It's going to ruin my biscuit business. And so then he stabs her dead body multiple times and frames it as a frantic suicide. But what I don't like about the positioning of this story is it's the same thing as the story when they said that they used the Alexa as evidence in court.
Well,
it's the praising of Fitbit and the Alexa.
Right.
It's the way they frame the story as, you see, the constant monitoring of people, that's what allows us to not commit crimes or catch the bad guys. And so it keeps us kind of constant state of, as long as I'm not guilty of everything, as long as I'm not guilty of anything, what does it matter that I'm constantly surveilled 24/7? Which is a thing that's happening in China right now with the social credit system, which is the more and more I read into, the more and more, like, they're getting all of these social rewards and social punishments for doing things that are against the state or against other people, down to like littering, down to smoking and non-smoking areas. But then they're not allowed to fly. They're not allowed to get into certain universities. They're not allowed to get certain jobs. But they don't know how they're monitoring it, which means it's a combo of the phone, CCTV, devices in your own home that are turning itself into a gigantic big brother, where in China it is becoming 1984, and in the United States it's becoming the brave new world, where we are just policing ourselves using the gadgets that we're purchasing in order to make our lives, quote unquote, easier, which they do.
Kind of.
But also,
I mean, honestly, does the Fitbit really make your life easier?
It doesn't.
Who cares? Yeah, I agree. And we should do a deeper dive on that. There's a great article. What's it called? No Dark Places? No shadowy crevices, which is actually also a part of my nude shoot. That's actually what I'm going to call my first nude shoot for Playgirl Magazine. All right. Yes, that story on China. We'll do a deeper dive maybe in the next episode on that, because it's a horrifying situation. And it's interesting how people are just volunteering to give up all of their freedoms because it's a Fitbit or because it's a smartwatch. And again, there's a great book, 3 Felonies a Day. You don't even know how many crimes you're committing. The crime statutes are so broad and so vague, they can get you for anything, including resisting arrest, which is literally just them arresting you for nothing, and then you try to resist, and now you're arrested for a resisting arrest. They just create a problem. They create a crime. Anyway, that's why I just hold my knees. That's very good. Okay. I hold my knees. And so what they're saying is, to come back to the case, they found bloody clothes at his home. Okay. His last name, what I do like is that his last name is, his name is Anthony Aiello. Right. I wonder if he's distantly related to Danny Aiello. I don't know. I met Danny Aiello one time. He called me Hollywood. He was very, very nice. He had a comedy club in Hoboken, New Jersey. That's right. That's right. He did. Yes, he did. Well, so apparently they found bloody clothes at the Aiello home. He's 90. And they said he's told that the deposit of blood on his clothes were not localized in one area and were consistent with a splatter. Aiello indicated that he might have cut his hand and shaken it while he was wearing one of those shirts, because he says he, quote unquote, cuts himself all the time. So is he going through a goth phase at 90? What's happening exactly? Also, dude, that's a great way. Even if you didn't commit this murder, you're going to the home. You can't cut yourself all the time. You obviously shouldn't be living alone if you are. Well, all I know is that he either got confused and he murdered his stepdaughter, or there was, I don't want to, like, God knows what the hell. I mean, technically, he is innocent until proven guilty.
So I have no
Sure.
clue what he's done. It does seem to be there's a lot of evidence pointing his way towards him murdering his daughter. He contends that there was somebody else in the house.
Okay. I mean, honestly, that was what struck me in the story. 90 years old. Again, I haven't really heard of a 90-year-old being able to pull off a really graphic, brutal stabbing like that. But I guess you never know what people are capable of.
Fairy tales could come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart.
I had a dream with you singing in it last night. Isn't that weird? All right.
Weird.
So, yeah. All right. We got one more story. Now, this is in the Henry Zabrowski world of ufology. It's ufology, I believe.
Yes, it is.
So we'll get a lot of insight here. I know Henry has a lot to say about this. Basically, a UFO was spotted over Myrtle Beach, and onlookers were disturbed. But I'm also sure a lot of onlookers, if I know Myrtle Beach the way I know Myrtle Beach, were pretty hammered and absolutely loved it.
Yes, it does seem to be the videos of this UFO. It's a lot of people going, woo! They up there, y'all. Woo, woo, woo. And it's pretty wonderful. It's pretty wonderful footage because the lightning is going. It's very spooky dooky. It's spotted over Myrtle Beach on this. So the video was taken on August 5th, but it was only uploaded on October 4th.
Yeah, I know.
59 days later.
Why do you sit on it for so long? I just feel like it must be an older...
They submitted to the video to MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, and a part of the reason why people don't report is because they're not taken seriously.
Okay, so the mysterious lights, they were spotted over Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. This, again, was in August. Now, it raises questions about where the lights came from and what the hell were they doing up there.
They're pretty spooky dooky, man.
They are, so if you get a chance, again, go in there and check it out on YouTube. It's UFO sighting filmed in Myrtle Beach. So now, how would you describe what people are going to be looking at if they haven't seen it yet? What kind of UFO is this?
Orbs.
This is an orb.
These are orbs. They look at they're floating in the sky. They don't look like shit. I tell you what, I don't know what the hell it is. I mean, like, again, I haven't done my shadow hours yet because technically they could be. What they always say is that it's ball lightning. Okay. And when I look at them, they don't look like ball lightning. They look like what they would maybe be reflective things in the sky, which maybe could be swept up by the storm. But normally, when you see things reflecting in the sky, it has sort of like a blink blink, like you could see the light catch it, like when you swift it. But you're watching as 5 objects in the sky sort of hover like they're on strings,
right?
Like the original, when Kenneth Arnold first saw a UFO, and where the term flying saucer came from, is the sort of wobbly aspect, the way they sort of hover in the sky like they're hanging.
Yeah, like bad Ed Wood props from an Ed Wood film.
Yes, but they are weird incandescent lights that are floating between the storm clouds, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to give it a dope with a capital D, and I'm loving it.
Whoa, and I'm loving it, and a dope with a capital D. That's kind of fun. Dare I say, the person, now this is funny, this person was anonymous. They do not want to be known. As Henry said, they probably just don't want to deal with being called a whack job or something. But this is according to what the person wrote on a website. He said, taking pictures, or she, I don't even know, taking pictures and time-lapse of incoming storm. They were taking pictures and time-lapse of the incoming storm. I was taking the pictures off the edge of a long pier after dark, so there were no reflective surfaces around. I did not notice the objects until I returned home and checked the photograph and video. So that's pretty fun if you check it out, and then you're like, that's like when you see a haunting image in the back, or a ghost. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's the kind of shit I like. When you look at it, you're like, what the fuck is that shit? Except I still haven't seen anything. But I think there's a lot of complaints that a lot of UFO sightings are going down. And you know what I'm going to attribute that to?
What?
People not looking up from their phones.
Really?
You need to look at the sky. Because everyone wants to say, like, yeah, maybe that makes me an old fucking crank. Maybe I sound like an old man shifting around, wishing things were the ways they were, or a bunch of little boys in the street selling pipes and hitting a circle with a stick. And that was when things were, that was what was fun then. You know what I mean?
The decade, the time of the newsie. I don't think you were alive during that time.
I saw the
disease,
newsies.
Polio and stuff like that. Although polio's back on the rise because no one's vaccinated anymore. But
back when Santa Fe was a place people wanted to go.
Oh.
You know, and nowadays, no, everyone's glued to the bip boops, sitting there doing their clickety clocks, getting their likes and their hearts and whatnot.
Right.
When it should be looking up to the sky, scanning the sky, seeing the stories that were told by the heavens to the Native Americans.
You do, and I love that. I love Native American lore, and they are right about spirituality. We need to get back to the earth. Okay.
I love corn. I love tents.
I love the idea of praising the animals, and I love the idea of praising the spirits and things like that. I like the Native American lore quite a bit.
You know what's nice? A yurt.
Yep. Don't know what it is.
If you got a good one.
Oh, yes. Is that a tent?
It's a big tent.
Cool. I do like those. I will say, yes, I don't know what's going on. Stop looking down. But I will also say, don't just look up. Look straight, too. I can't even tell you how many people just run into me. And I'm like the softest wall, so they're like, yes, thank you.
They're like, oh. Yeah,
yes,
like they're in an insane asylum.
Right. So just kind of look every now and again. I find
Has Brooke ever told you that your body is like the wall of an insane asylum?
No, but I think that's it's mildly offensive. It's something I could work on, but it's also cozy. So
we're all soft.
Yeah, I like being soft.
Yeah, you got to be soft. We're going to be all rigid?
No, I don't care. I don't. Shannon Tatum's got a little head anyway. I don't want that kind of body. The amount of work
Channing Tatum lives in a world of misery. Okay, we're going to just say this right now. If you look at the Mark Wahlberg schedule, they get up at 3:00 in the morning to work out. Yeah. All right, and yeah, they look good, and yeah, they have millions of dollars, and yeah, they're super famous, and yeah, they stick their wick into every gaping piece and everywhere, every town they drift into.
Well,
but are they happy? No.
I don't know if they're happy. It wouldn't make me very happy. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I like a book. I like a good book.
Just a good documentary. You know, just give me a good doc. I'll do a
The Dispossessed by Ursula K. Le Guin. And people have already said that I was simplifying the last time I was talking about it, and it's true. I do barely understand it. But I will say a true anarchic society takes intense responsibility.
Okay, yes, and of course it's not actually a plausible thing because someone will want power.
But you got to be ever vigilant. That's what the whole point of the society is that constant vigilance is very difficult to maintain that type of equality.
Well, it just seems like there's other things to do in the world.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of things to do in the world. We would not technically be able to work in that world of anarchism because we work upon the largesse of others. Actually, opposite. We are truly just jesters. We're troubadours that only live upon the favor of our fans. I want to say thank you for the fact that you're even here listening to us.
Yes, we love you very much. All right, so yes, so that video, check out that video, UFO sighting filmed in Myrtle Beach. Compelling stuff. And yeah, keep on looking up to the skies. You know, we have sometimes people will come up to us and they might say something a little bit creepy about, oh, I want to get on your show. If you want to make it on the show, find a UFO. Just remember that. It kind of rhymes. If you want to make it on the show, find a UFO.
Find a UFO.
You send that in. We will talk about that. We will show that. We will blast it on our live stream, which can we announce is coming back soon?
Yes, live stream is coming back the week of Halloween. We're coming back the Tuesday before Halloween.
So if you have any UFO footage, shoot it our way. We'll play it on the Adult Swim live stream for you. That'll be Tuesdays at 8 p.m. I cannot wait to start that show again. We've missed talking to you so much.
Cannot wait.
We'll show.
And also, we will be recording for our Creepypasta episodes. Remember, email. We're going to be doing this on October 23rd. Okay. We're going to be recording. So we need these things as soon as you can get them, and we need them short. We need them we're looking between a minute to 3 minutes read. Yeah. And to send all of your creepiest shit to Side Stories LPOTL. Again, that's Side Stories LPOTL@gmail.com.
Yes, we cannot wait to read your stories. Awesome. Well, those were kind of some fun stories of the news. Those are kind of some fun true crime stories in the news this week. And we hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you all so much for listening. Anything else we want to plug here? I don't know. I think we're pretty good. Keep on supporting all the shows here.
I'm pretty good. I tell you what, there hasn't been more slime. The slime has stopped, but I joined the neighborhood app of Nextdoor. I changed it because you can join. It's like a neighborhood.
You just talked about not wanting to be part of the 1984 problem.
I only joined it because I wanted to see if other people was looking into the slime. 2 posts about slime.
But now you are part. I'm just
I
going to say.
deleted immediately. I just wanted to know I was correct.
Okay. All right, be careful. People ratting out their neighbors. Loud music over here. Is that a satanic cult over there? What's happening?
You mess with the bowl, you get the horns. You come over here, you want to stop me watching movies about women screaming all night long? Well, you're going to have to find out what actually is happening.
Well, when the police bust down your door and pop you in the head, and they'll have to kill Wendy, too, because Wendy will attack
what I
them.
do is I immediately shift into entertaining. And once they come in the door, then it's been like, oh, Mr. Officers, I can't believe. It's just like, gotta catch that train. I do all of the Music Maker.
The Music Man? You're just gonna sing some Music Man songs.
I do the Music Man.
Maybe talk about Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hope that works. I don't know. All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for listening. Enjoy all the shows here on the Last Podcast Network. Thanks for all the support for Abe Lincoln's Top Hat, the political show that I do with Marcus Pox, and occasionally Travis as well.
Yes.
You guys have been really wonderful there. So hail yourselves.
Satan. Yeah. Live, love, and line. I'm trying to get back into my Australian accent.
No, I honestly...
Live, line, and live.
Out of all of the accents that you've done, and you know I always love your work. I think you're very talented. The Australian accent does seem to be the most controversial in the sense that people don't believe it sounds Australian.
Effective. I was like, there's a couple of words I try to use to get back into. It's like effective, in line, like, foul. I don't know, man.
I think when
I'm not from Australia.
If we ever, well, we know that if we go there next year, which would be an awesome thing. I think by the end of the trip, you'll have it down pat. You'll know it.
It's just like, I can do any time. It's good for you today. Fuck. I had it for a while. I had it the other day.
All right, everyone. Hail yourselves.
Hail me. See you soon. Triple L, everybody.
Triple L, Magustalations.
You dirty whores.
Oh, my goodness. Leave everyone alone.
Managing healthcare payments shouldn't get in the way of patient care, but fragmented systems create costly delays and add unnecessary friction. Zealous is here to help. We simplify healthcare's financial complexity by connecting every step of the financial journey for payers, providers, and members. That way, everyone can focus on what matters most. Because when the financial experience works, care doesn't just happen, it flows. Learn more at zealous.com.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Whether you're just starting out or scaling your business, Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform designed to help your business stand out and succeed online. Squarespace gives you everything you need to offer services and get paid, all in one place. From consultations to events and experiences, showcase your offerings with a customizable website designed to attract clients and grow your business. The best part about it is it can help you design a funnel in which you can very quickly record commercials so that you can get it done while you are desperately trying to get on break. That's the best part about Squarespace. It can really shorten up the time you spend doing things. You got to get in there. Use Squarespace. Man, is it fast. It is absolutely incredible. You're going to love your experience at Squarespace. Head to squarespace.com/left for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code LEFT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.